Hi guys! I can't believe we're finally here. Today is our last lesson together. And as sad as I am about that, I am super stoked that we are talking about Hufflepuffs today. Whoop whoop! Yes, we are talking about the house that I get to belong to, a house that I hold near and dear to my heart, Hufflepuff House. And first I gotta give a shout out to all my other Hufflepuffs out there who found out that they were with me. That's super fun and exciting. We are the Misfits, but guess what? We are the life of every party that we go to. So I wanted to start off this lesson by reiterating something that I think is probably one of the most important parts about being a Hufflepuff, and that is the first line of the little snippets that we learned about each house in the very first lesson. If you want to go rewatch that one, I won't mind. But it says that Hufflepuffs are the egalitarians of Hogwarts. Now, if you're like me, you didn't quite know exactly what egalitarian meant right off the back, so I did some Googling, and egalitarian means that you are believing in the principle that all people are equal and deserve equal rights and treatment. So we're the equalists of the group. We think everyone should just be treated equally, and we really just want everyone to get along with each other. So even though we're the misfits, we're kind of like the glue between everybody. And I think that's a really special part about being a Hufflepuff. But as happy as I am to be a Hufflepuff today, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I wasn't always super happy about being a Hufflepuff. In fact, when I first took the quiz, I took it again and again and again, trying to get into a different house because I thought Hufflepuffs were the least desirable. You know, they're kind of, like I said earlier, they're kind of the misfits of Hogwarts. They're kind of the ones that aren't the most popular. Those are the Gryffindors. You know, you always want to be in Gryffindor. But I learned to really love the title of Hufflepuff. And that's what I wanted to focus on with you guys today is self-acceptance. We've been kind of talking about certain things all 3 weeks. The first week we talked a lot about self-discovery. The second week we talked a lot about acceptance of others and our differences. And then this week I think is really important to talk about self-acceptance. So without further ado, let's get on to our activity. You guys are going to need a piece of paper. It could be computer paper, blank paper, or notebook paper, whichever one you have on handy, and then a nice thick marker that will show up really nicely on the paper. We don't want to use pencil here because we really want our art to show through. So run and grab those supplies really quick, and I'm going to head inside and we'll get right into it. Okay guys, so I have my paper and my marker here. Please don't mind it falling off. Okay. So I'm going to take my hand, place it on my paper, spread my fingers out apart really wide, and you guessed it, we're going to trace it. Sorry, I am left-handed, so I had to switch. But next we're going to, in each of our fingers, we're going to answer the question, what are our roles? What roles do we play in life? And here are a few roles that I found that I play. And off each of our fingertips, we are going to draw a small dash, and off of those small dashes, we are going to write the people that we affect in these roles. So here are my people, and you start to see that you actually affect a lot of people in your life without realizing it. And then in the middle, we're going to draw a spiral, and then inside of that spiral, we're going to think of a quote or life philosophy that we align with, and mine is simply be and let be. And then all along the paper, we're going to draw some symbols that kind of help us reinforce what roles that we are in. And then we're going to write our name in big letters at the bottom, and that's on period. Hey guys, so I just wanted to hop back really quick, show you guys my finished product. And I wanted to assign you a little think piece when you finish this assignment. I mentioned it a little bit in the explanation, but the part where you write down all of the people that you actually affect in the roles that you take on is probably the most profound part of this assignment for me specifically, because sometimes we get into periods of life where we think we might not matter as much to a lot of people. Or where like our presence isn't that important to others. But when you really start to break it down and you're like, no, I mean this to this other person, or I mean this to this group of people, it really starts to make a difference, and you start to realize just how important you as an individual really, really are. So that's the main takeaway that I hope you guys get from this assignment. And remember, you are you, and that is perfect.
Hello students, it is I, Ricky, your creative drama teacher. Welcome back to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And like Mackenzie just said in the videos prior to this one, yes, it is our last lesson today, and it's quite sad. But we're finishing off really strong, and we're talking about Hufflepuffs. She just did that fabulous hand exercise with you guys, where you got to kind of delve more into what about you kind of clicks with what a Hufflepuff is and stands for. I would like to kind of take it another direction to kind of fully understand the true arc and meaning of what it means to be a Hufflepuff. So, Hufflepuffs, as you guys probably know, tend to be not only the misfits and not only the lives of the party, but they're creative. They tend to be creative types, and you can often find Hufflepuffs in creative avenues as far as professions go and hobbies. So today, what we are doing is, my original plan was to take you guys through an herbology lesson, right? And we were going to draw a plant, a magical plant. And while I still invite you to please go ahead and create a magical plant should you so desire after hearing the instructions for this lesson, I would like to emphasize that just like all of the other lessons and activities I've been doing with you guys, they are open to your interpretation and you can do them however you want to. But let me stop diddying and let me go ahead and tell you what I did today. So I decided I wanted to stimulate our creativity in the mind of a Hufflepuff. I was going to try and create a magical plant for you guys to kind of to show you and to demonstrate to you I'm not the most talented artist, and I thought that might push me. When I started creating my magical plant, though, I totally started getting distracted, and before I knew it, I had created a Jackson Pollock-inspired painting. That was, which is essentially just a lot of paint splatters. So allow me to show it to you and stop talking to you about it. Behold, here it is. Sideways, horizontal, vertical. It can really be presented any way you want. I started with a teal base, because teal does have like a sea foamy base, because it does happen to be my favorite color. And then I was going throughout the motions to do a plant that would look similar to something you might see in an herbology class. And this is what I came up with. And to be honest, I like it a lot better, and I'm going to hang it in my room now, so that's kind of exciting. And I feel like that's something a Hufflepuff would do. So, now that you've seen this, please go ahead and admire it, because I am quite proud of it, to be honest with you. Paint splatter. What I invite you guys to do is think like a Hufflepuff in the fact that they are creative, lives of the party, etc. And I want you to create your own art project, be it a magical plant that you give a name, or a collage of paint splatters. I want to see what kind of artistic things you come up with. Now, I would like you guys to know that for me, I do not like drawing. I do not like using colored pencils or crayons, markers, paint, because I don't find it terribly, it comes very easy to me. And so I thought this was a fun activity because it pushed me in a way that I wouldn't typically go for, and I quite enjoyed the way that this result ended up being. And that's something that I quite loved about this lesson today specifically. I would say that Hufflepuffs are probably on the opposite end of the spectrum as Ravenclaws, which is my house, like a Slytherin is on the opposite end of the spectrum for a Gryffindor. And that's kind of why I think it maybe was a little bit challenging for me today, but it is also what made me end up coming up with my own version of an artistic project assignment and being quite happy with the end result. I invite you to do the same, and please share them with us, because I would love to see what kind of things you guys created. Thanks. And now, I am signing on one last time to bid you farewell, because this is the final Harry Potter summer camp lesson that we are doing this summer, June of 2020. I hope that you guys have had a good time and that you've had a lot of takeaways and that you were able to stay fully invested and committed this entire time. Now, I know this is not how I expected summer camp to go when I initially got hired on to do this thing, but I gotta say, I've learned a lot doing it this way, and I also had so much fun, too. A lot more fun than I expected I had. I hope that you feel similarly. I do invite you to come back to summer camp next year, because I would love to do this again, but in class, in person and to see all your beautiful, smiley, shining faces staring back at me so we can do some serious creative drama work. You thought this was fun. You just wait till you get in the classroom with me and Mackenzie, okay? That we will rock your world. Now, I would love to reiterate some takeaways that I hope that you have now that we've done a couple of weeks of Harry Potter. The biggest one being that we are all human beings, and we're all connected by the fact that we are human. And so even though there are traits and characteristics that we all have as members of our own respective houses, we are all human beings, and we all have traits and characteristics that can help us learn from other people and also teach to other people. The more we aim for that, the better off I think that we'll be. Secondly, I hope that you've learned a little bit more about yourself over these last couple of weeks. We did a lot about self-discovery throughout the theme of Harry Potter. I hope that you love your house now, even if you didn't before, and maybe if you already loved your house, you love it even more now because you know a lot more about it. I leave this with you and would love to bid you adieu. I've had a great time doing this with all of you. Didn't mean to make a poem there, but I just did. So, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in with me and Mackenzie and for coming with us on this magical journey to the magical world, wizarding world, that is, of Harry Potter. It's been real. Okay, I'll see you guys next summer. Bye!